Hi everyone, it's Suzanne here. So today I'm just going to be sharing with you. I've started quite a while ago on a sewing or fashion type journal. I'm using a Kaiser Craft blank. They made these. I'm not sure that they still make them, just with the craft paper, and they're bound with the ring type binders. I've only done a couple of pages just because I haven't really been into any craft recently, but this is what I've done so far. So this is the inside front cover, and I've just made like a folder to put things in, and I've used a plain manila folder to make it. Then I've used the like pattern paper over the top, so just glued that down, and then I've just done some collage of different bits and pieces. I've done some stamping and just done some collage, and I did add a little magnet underneath, and there's also one under the cotton reel there. I've stamped here, so this is a stamp I have, and because the pattern has got the blue, I used this cobalt blue, and the colours are almost identical, to do a bit of stamping on there. So inside this folder I wanted to do a little sewing kit, and I was inspired by Sonia Steptoe to have a go at this. So mine's not going to be the same as Sonia's, but she was definitely my inspiration. So I'll just move this out the road, and I kind of made a start on this last night. Had the house to myself, and so again I've used a manila folder just with the pattern paper glued on, done a bit of stamping. That's a stamp I have as well. And inside I want to put these bits and pieces. So there's a tape measure. Now I've got this fabulous paper. I got it in a D-stash. I have no idea what collection it is, but I'll just show you the bits of it that I do have. So this is pretty much all of it, but it is fantastic paper. I wish I could find out like where it was from and what brand it was, but so I've really just got these little bits and pieces of it, but it's absolutely amazing. I'm thinking of putting this one on the front of my journal. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be doing that bit last, but these are all the bits that I got in a D-stash from someone. So it happened to have this little piece in it, so I'm just going to put that on the front, and I'm going to glue these bits down. So now I did think of doing all kinds of embellishments over it, but I've only done a couple of pages in the book, and already it's getting quite thick. So I want to try and keep making the embellishments too big. So I'll just get on with doing this. So I think I'll use my art glitter glue. So I've just, again, this is just some cards, manila folder with the pattern paper, and I've done a bit of sewing and put on paper measuring tape, and I'm just going to be gluing. I've got goobers, sorry, just get that out if I can. Okay, so hopefully, oh, there we go. So I'm not much of a sewer. My mum is a great sewer, and I did do sewing at high school, but I'm afraid to say I did not pay too much attention, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and get that straight as I can. Sorry if you can see my head. Just need it to have room for me to slide that in and out, but I don't want it to be too loose so that it falls out. I think that should be okay. Now I've got 3 little pockets here. So one for buttons, one for these little scissors, and they do actually work, for some needles. So I'll do the same, except I will glue. I hope I've been on screen. Glue on the bottom and both sides. Just do a bit more. So I don't want them coming off. Don't have a lot of wiggle room with this glue. Once it is stuck, that's pretty much it. You don't get a second go at it, so that'll be for the buttons. And I might do the top one for the needles, so I try and keep it fairly neat. Just put a little pencil mark. Okay, so I think that's reasonably straight. jabbing myself there. And I might just wait a little bit, and I might glue this one on the front here. I might just use some PVA for this one. It's not as thick, so the little pockets are quite thick because they're made from the manila folders. This paper's quite thin, this one that I don't know the maker of. It's a little bit thin paper, so okay. All right, so there's my little sewing kit. I may come back and just do a bit of collage on here. I'm not sure yet. I had thought of putting some cottons here, but I might do that in another pocket later on. So that's going to go in here just like so. Okay, so on this page I've just made a pocket and a large tag booklet. So I've done lots of fussy cutting. So again, it's just using that pattern paper. I've done a bit of stamping on it and then glued the girl on. And I've just then used so this kind of pattern paper for the pages in the tag book, and it just kind of folds up like so. Okay, and I've just got a pocket there, and I've stitched on a bit of lace, and I have used a couple of different paper collections from Kaisercraft. This one's needle and thread, and I have used the Miss Betty collection over here. So again, this is another lady that I fussy cut out, and I made this little pocket. I got this die from Studio Light, and it makes a pocket. It's really cool. It's really fun to find that. And again, I just added a little tiny little magnet underneath, and I want to find something to put in there, and I did find a needle threader with a safety pin, and I think I'll just add that to the pocket because that'll fit nicely. Now over here I've made another pocket, added a bit of a width in there just by making a fold, and I've made it so that it closes with the string, and I've got button die for the ties to go around. So this one I've already made 5 tags, and we'll we'll make the other one. I want to make 6, and I've used these dies. So it's got a large one, a large tag, and then it's got the layer. So that's what I've done here. So this is just some brown or some craft cardstock and the Miss Betty papers and some ladies that I fussy cut out. And on the back are 2 layers of the pattern paper. So both the white pattern and this one that's more like tracing paper, just glued over the top, and then that's going to be the back of the tags, and you can write on them. So these are the ones that I've made so far. And I just thought we could make the 6th one together. So this is all it is, the large tag. So that one with this on there as well. And that's the layer to go on the front, and over the back, these 2 layered. So a piece of that with some of this on top, and you can write on this really well. It's really great to write on. It kind of feels waxy, but it's really easy to write on. So we'll go ahead and do that one. Put this on the back. So the one on the back, I've used the large just so that it covers this up. So I just use PVA to put these on because kind of want a bit of time. You see how I've got that as crooked as a dog's hind leg. And I think I'll put these 2 ladies on. So this is like the back and front view of the same suit. So it's a skirt and a top. When it's properly dry, I will join them together somehow, and they're going to go in here. So we'll glue this little envelope down. I might just use some PVA today. Actually, I might use a bit of both. I might use a bit of glitter glue and some PVA because I don't want this to lift off, but I don't want to use too much of this either. So just make sure I've got a bit along those edges is the important part, and get my string out the way and try and get it reasonably straight and press it down. Okay. All right, so I will eventually at some stage join those together and make it like a tag book, and they're going to live in there. And that's that one. I think that's pretty much it for that page. Now over here I'm going to go back to the needle and thread collection. That's going to be my page, and I want to make some pockets for here, but I want to put a bit of just a bit of a gusset. So when I use the manila folders, I always keep this, like the creases in the back, there's always those two scored lines, and I cut those bits off because I don't like to use that part in my tags or anything. I cut them and keep them and fold it so that I can use it on my pockets. But this one I want to add on the back here, just a little So it's just a bit of trial and error to get it. Doesn't have to be perfect either, just so long as it's that's, I did not want that to happen. Oops, a bit much glue, I think. Okay, so that's that one. I took the notch out up here, so I picked this up at Lincraft. Okay guys, sorry about that, I just had a visitor turn up, so I had to turn the camera off. So I did finish that off, and then I decided I'm going to do the same to this one. So I'll get on to that. Alright. Now I want to put this one down on the page. Okay, so now I'm going to put this one down and then this one on top. Actually, I might glue that one down first. Just gives you a bit of room down there. And then we can put this one on here. So now I've got a pocket here and a pocket here, and I do have an idea for this larger pocket. Whoops. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so I've found these cards at the recent book fest in Brisbane, the Lifeline Book Fest, and again I'm just going to make a bit of a journal booklet just with the pattern papers and with two of the cards. So I'm just going to need, I think I'll just staple it. Anyway, that'll be fine. Okay, so that will now go. this one. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.